Well, it's finally happened. Someone has stood up to Disney and Warner Brothers and all of the other people joining forces under this Venue joint venture to try to bring sports to the masses at $50 a month and 45% of the sports they actually want to watch. Well, what's coming from this hearing? It sounds like the judge wants all of the dirty details about how much these cable operators are having to pay Disney and others for all of these channels. That's news they don't want out in the media, and it sounds like it's coming just around the bend. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place. Here with me are my compatriots, Culture Casino and Vash Sky. Guys, stop waving.
Oh, okay.
Glad to have you both here.
Well,
yes.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here still. I woke up this morning, so yeah.
I woke up this morning. Anyways, let's talk about this story. Fubo tells judge in antitrust case it will reveal long secret details of carriage negotiations by Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery. This by Dade Hayes. That doesn't sound like an enticing headline if you don't know what all of the words mean. Culture, do you want to translate that into English?
Sure. The judge wants everything brought into plain view for everybody to have full transparency, to understand exactly what is surrendered in every single one of these carriage negotiations, which will give us some insight we've never had before into what goes on behind closed doors between the distributors and, the people that provide the material.
Yeah, and to add a little bit more clarity here, carriage negotiations are how much the cable providers pay the actual channels for having their channel on their cable package here. So the people who pay for cable, otherwise known as people like you or me, probably not you or me, I don't know if you've got cable, will actually be finding out from this how much Fubo has to pay in order to get ESPN and everything else that they are charging along with ESPN in order to have that on Fubo TV in this particular instance. This story at a deadline by Dade Hayes, I love the detail in here. Lawyers for both sides signed a joint letter to U.S. District Judge Margaret Garnett, laying out certain priorities as the judge sets to convene a pretrial conference on Thursday in her New York courtroom. One goal of the conference will be to establish a timeline for the jury trial, which Fubo sees as potentially starting in June of 2025 and defense no earlier than October of 2025. This is also fascinating because the judge in the Gina Carano trial is Sherilyn Peace Garnett, another lady judge with the last name of Garnett. We should also have progress towards discovery, possibly, I don't know when that will be made public, in June of 2025 as well. So in this particular instance, though, Bob Iger has already been deposed in order for this trial to proceed. And I'm looking forward to that deposition seeing the light of day myself, but that's not the only thing that we could be looking forward to here. Last month, Garnett stunned the media industry by siding with Fubo and granting a preliminary injunction barring the launch of Venue Sports. What's Venue Sports, Vash?
Venue Sports is that JV that we always talk about, that joint venture between the Fox, we just went over it, but the Fox TV side of the business that Disney wasn't able to acquire, Fox Sports, that is, and all of that, Fox News, Fox, Disney, and Warner Brothers Discovery. And, it took the industry by storm when that was announced, because that was announced in anticipation of maybe a certain proxy battle between Disney and Nelson Peltz. And in order to stave him off, it's like, oh, no, we are innovative. Look at this. And the NFL was like, what are you talking about? So it took the industry definitely by storm. And apparently they didn't even negotiate with anybody as to this JV, the existence of it, and what that would actually mean for the entire industry. And the judge looked at it and went, yeah, this is going to be pretty upending right here, not just Fubo, but for the entire industry at large. So preliminary injunction was granted.
Right. And they announced this on an earnings call here to say that Fox and ESPN and Warner Brothers, basically TNT, would be working together to create a streaming service. And the cable operator said, hold on, you're all working together. I do believe that's illegal and considered oligopolistic behavior. And then NFL and NBA, they were surprised by it as well. And they said, hey, that's not cool. And if there were any of those south of the border, they would say, oh, well, is that not technically a cartel? It sounds like Judge Garnett here might be of the inclination explanation that this is a cartel here. Also, the fact that the injunction was granted stopping this from happening says that Judge Garnett is likely to rule in Fubo's favor. Or maybe you could read that as not unlikely to rule in Fubo's favor here. We talked to Ron Coleman about this on the channel. There is a video on that you can check out here. Just look up Fubo TV and Ron Coleman. He's argued successfully in front of the Supreme Court of the United States. Regardless of the injunction ruling, though, which the media companies have appealed, Fubo's suit is aiming at a larger target: the bargaining approach of programmers, which the company says have forced it to carry less desirable channels in order to gain access to the most coveted ones. Spectrum Charter, for instance, comes to mind. They eventually got Disney to drop Baby TV that they had no interest in carrying on any of their networks, instead only wanting 10 of Disney's 18 or so cable channels that they were forcing down their throats. The result, Fubo says, is higher prices for consumers. A similar theme lies at the heart of the ongoing distribution dispute between DirecTV and Disney. By the way, DirecTV, that was 16 networks on theirs, and they wouldn't even carry the presidential debate because of the animosity there between the two of them. By the way, have I not said this? DirecTV bleeding subscribers right now because they would rather stand their ground, because I think this is a survival level issue for DirecTV, the tactics that are being employed here.
Yeah. Even giving what anywhere between $20 to $30 in terms of a credit towards their customers in order to find alternative solutions to any Disney branded packaging or streaming services and so forth, so they can find their favorite NFL games or sports games. Just an astounding upending of the established order when it comes to that either that carriage dispute or this particular case. I believe the judge is looking at this and going, yeah, this is going to upend the entire system, which is why I believe the scope of it may have expanded to include bundling itself, as is detailed in this article and others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would agree with the assessment you made, Jonas. This is an existential event for them. They have to draw the line in the sand. Specifically DirecTV, I think Fubo, everybody has to start drawing lines in the sand against all of these moves, these cartel type moves. I think that's the right word. But consider this: DirecTV lost 1.8 million customers in 2023 alone. There's no counting how many they're losing at this year. So they, like I said, that's line in the sand time for them.
Right. And just to point out this other article here from Deadline, DirecTV customer defections not immaterial, executives say, amid Disney blackout. The annoyance factor is very high. This is people from DirecTV saying that this is a material change here. That is a big deal for them to openly admit that. Spectrum Charter said that they were standing their ground and ready to lose video, but they didn't say how much it affected them while the dispute was ongoing. With this one, they're going ahead and warning shareholders, essentially, that this was going on. Somebody pointed out to me that DirecTV is no longer part of AT&T. In the comments here, because it was spun off. I would defy them to ask, well, who owns a company when it is spun off? Anyhow, thus far, lead Fubo attorney Mark Hansen writes in a letter that all of them together have produced more than 515,000 documents and taken 28 depositions in discovery. The purpose has been focused on the efforts behind the Venue joint venture. I think those are going to be pretty light when it comes down to it. Fubo says it plans to seek additional discovery about the defendants' bundling practices and negotiations, including most favored nation arrangements with certain distributors. MFNs, broadly speaking, require programmers to maintain similar terms with multiple distributors. The Venue JV, Garnett found in her ruling, was anti-competitive because it was the result of three sports powers pooling resources and wielding undue leverage in the marketplace. Finally, someone who speaks English.
Yes, absolutely. That is for sure. And I believe, I think the NFL had similar reservations about this and some of the other sports leagues, because it's like you were giving a disproportionate amount of power over either content production or distribution when you do things like this. And that is, again, it has implications for the entire entertainment industry.
This is a great paragraph right here. If the Fubo case proceeds to trial, it could result in a number of previously secret interactions becoming public and a clearer view of the workings of the pay TV ecosystem at a vulnerable moment. I've read other aspects of this, and they're basically saying that essentially because the same skinny packages that Disney would rail against and say, no, we can't offer those to cable subscribers. They're essentially doing that when they offer something like Hulu or something like Disney Plus or ESPN Plus. That is your skinny package, but they're refusing to offer that to the customers of Fubo or DirecTV or to Charter Spectrum or things like that. I'm also going to point out here that Paramount and NBC, who are not part of Venue, we weren't hurt by not being invited. They seem to be very happy to not be a part of what is going on here. CNBC reported that NBC Universal was not involved here. And of course, NBC Sports, also the owners of Comcast, which is a cable provider. So they would have something to say about this as well. I'm wondering why it's not a class action lawsuit at this point. But that class might end up being the NFL, the NBA, Fubo, Comcast, all of the cable providers at once here. This is something where you have to wonder capitalism versus anti-monopolistic activity. Obviously, it's not completely free market here, but this, as we've said over and over again, this is an extinction level event, I think, for cable operators.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else you want to throw in before we wrap this up?
You do have these kind of legacy operators, right? Like I would say DirecTV, these people who have been in the cable space, eventually they will be going away. But do they go away in this way, with something that's so anti-competitive and could really lay the foundation for more anti-competitive practices to come? Perhaps not. But I am glad that the judge is at least looking this over with a fine-tooth comb right here and understands what she's looking at and is providing summary judgments thusly.
Right. I mean, we're often horrified when we look at people on in congressional hearings, our senators and our Congress people trying to chew out these tech overlords over there by holding up an iPhone and asking the CEO of Google whether or not his iPhone is tracking him, and having to explain to him that they don't even make that product. It sounds like in this case that Judge Garnett might actually understand what she would be ruling on here. So if that's a product of a well-written defense, then good on Fubo's lawyers there. That being said, we do want to throw this to our commenters. What do you think about this? Are you suddenly finding in your life that you are pulling for the cable operators? What a switch that would be. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like this video. And if you wouldn't mind, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.